everybody to the J-E-Y-I-E-La show. La 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 la. All right, welcome to another episode of the Jay Aguila Show. This is your boy Jay Aguila, and today I have two special guests all the way from the city, New York City, New York. I have my friend here, Jonathan, and my good friend here, Stephanie. Guys, thank you so much for being part of the show.
Hey, what's up?
Hey guys.
And today we're just going to get to know them a little bit. If you guys don't know, they're from a beautiful church, a good friend of ours, Pastor Jorge Roa Jr. And guys, tell us about that church, how you guys got there, and a little bit about your testimony, if you don't mind.
So I got to the church, actually, this is like my first year being a member of ICM. So I started in 2018, literally like at the beginning. I was allowed to be a member. I come from another small church, non-concilio, and I've been in Christ for about 7 years. So yeah, and it's interesting, the way I came to Christ. It's awesome because the pastora preached about it today. I'm going to go over it really quickly. But I was in a relationship with a girl, and she actually used to take me to visit her church. And as she took me to visit her church, I really liked it there. I liked the people there. They were super nice and super welcoming and super loving. And then me and her had a situation where we broke off, and then I was really down and out. And then it's kind of like there was one point where I like tried to like refuge myself and like going out, hanging out, drinking, trying to like find like a happy place, but like I was really in a low place. And then one night I was just like in my house, and I was like, I'm really lonely right now. I don't like the way this feels. And just that the church came to mind, and so I texted her brother, and I was like, hey, do you guys still have service tomorrow or like Friday? And he was like, yeah, we do. And I was like, can I go with you guys? And then he was like, yeah. And then that started my walk in Christ. So it's kind of like a introduction to the love of Christ and just seeing that. So yep, that's part of my testimony of how I came to Christ. Yeah.
Well, I was born and raised in church, but I came to ICM. I came to ICM actually in 2010. I remember that that summer I came, I was visiting other churches because I was going through a situation in my life, and the church I was going to, I felt like God wanted to move me somewhere else. So I was asking God for guidance, and when I prayed, I remember I was walking to my building, and a lady calls me over, and we start talking, and later on in the convo, she ends up saying, where you're going right now, what the church that you've been visiting, that's where God wants you. And I was just like, wow, like that's crazy. And then I remember I was like, let me see, let me pray again, let me ask God just in case. Yeah. So then I asked God again, and I don't know if it was a few days later or like maybe a week, but sometime later when I start walking by the building again, she calls me over and she says, what God has said you need to do. Don't ask for confirmation, just do it. And I was just like, wow. You know, it's incredible because God speaks and he knows everything. He knows your heart when nobody else does. So that's how I came to ICM, and from then on, I've been in ICM.
Thank you, guys. And Stephanie, I definitely want to give you props in going that deep. You know what I'm saying? I was hoping more of a, he called me, I went in, but not a lot of people have that type of courage, so I really applaud you for that. All seriousness, that's really, really awesome, you having the courage to share that with you. And as youth, we go through different type of battles, right? So the struggles that you guys have encountered, can you guys think about like a moment or that you receive a word, or you open the Bible, or you receive a message, you know what I'm saying, like a text message or an actual sermon that impacted your life and gave you that encouragement to like move forward? Any of you could go first.
So this is literally just like just now. This is why I was so willing to just share this right now. Literally, like the pastora that preached here, she said like she was talking about how there's a lot of taboos. And so because she said that, and then like just having this opportunity right now to say, and I was just telling Jonathan and like another friend that we need to be willing to share what God has done in our lives and like these things that are hidden. So literally just like the service that just ended, literally guys, it was just like um, you need to share your experiences and the things that God has done, and don't like be ashamed and come out. So in a sense of like what God has done in it. So it's like that's why I was so willing to share it, and that was that moment of just like, okay, be willing and encouraged to just share it out so that others are also willing to like move forward in it, because there's a lot of people like that struggle with like being attracted to girls. And that's actually what brought me to Christ, like being with a girl, and she brought me to church. And then after that it was like a really long struggle, and it's just like every day like just God continued to like help me through it. And like I'm like, okay, I need to share this. So that's literally the moment that I was encouraged to share it.
So small testimony. Well, okay. I was not too long ago. I was working, and I was working in Dwayne Reed, and I remember there was a manager there, who like he really had like this attitude problem, and for some reason I started responding like the same way, and I started asking God, like, why do you have me here? Why am I going through this? And yeah, and then I was like, God, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, what do I do with this? Because nothing's working. So then I keep on asking God, and um, I asked my pastora what she thought about the situation, and she tells me, don't worry about what I can tell you or anything. Worry about what God could tell you. Basically, that's what she was saying. And I remember she said, "You're a man of God," and the same way that God speaks to her, God could speak to me. So I remember I kept on praying because I didn't like that answer, and I was like, "No, I don't like that answer. I need an answer like yes." And um, I remember that I was talking to Jasmine, right, one of the youth in our church, and she was talking about love, and then we got into a discussion about my brother, and like how all he needs is love. All he needs is love. He needs to see God's love, and that's it. And when all of a sudden, like I realized, like that's the same thing that my manager needed. He needs love. And I'm just like, again, like, God, can you give me another word? Tell me something else. I need something. And then I remember there came a point where I was just feeling like it's love. I can't just like ask God for another answer, because that is the answer. I already have the answer. I just need to show him love instead of showing him negativity, instead of talking to him back or acting the same way that he's acting. I need to show him love. And I remember that one day I went to the back and I started speaking to him, and I asked him for forgiveness. I said, I'm sorry for the way that I've been acting. I am sorry, if I did anything that bothered you. I know that I probably spoke to you in a way that I shouldn't have. And I'm sorry about that. That took me some time actually to say, because that was hard. Like, that was hard. It was like, do I say it, or what is he gonna think? Like, what do I do? Because I didn't know how he was gonna take it. Like, exactly. So it was so crazy. And then I was just like, you know what? I'm just gonna say it. And I went to the back and I said it, and he was like, no. I said it, and he was like, no, it's okay, it's okay. And I was like, no, I need to say it, because I know we all get upset. I know we all get bothered, but I need to understand that you're my manager, and I need to respond in a way that is good, not in a negative way, not in a bad way. I need to respond with love, and that's what I that's what I essentially told him. And when I told him, he was like, "It's all good," you know. And after then, he was like calm with me. He was cool with me. Like, we spoke fine. Like, he did not respond negatively with me at all. Yeah.
So it definitely shows right there. Thank you guys for sharing your testimony. That it's like we have to be the agent of change. You heard of those expressions, right? Agent of change. Like if your neighbor hits you on one side, offer the other side. Don't fight fire with fire. Not literally, but but in a way that we demonstrate Christ in us. That's what I'm getting from you guys. It's like we have to demonstrate Christ within us in order to show that He's real. How else we could preach if our action, our testimony doesn't fall back to what we're preaching to. And I really appreciate you guys doing that. Now, when you go through those type of moments, right, the encouragement to confront your struggles or management or person, whatever the mountain is, right? What is the music that actually give you that type of, that ampage, that pump? You like, I heard this song and I could conquer the world and like battle giants and da 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 da. Like, is there like a particular song that like you would listen to before you do these type of actions?
There's this song that's been ministering to me lately, and it's this song about Jacob. It's called Jacob's Song, if I'm not mistaken. And it's by Bree. She like I heard this song about a year ago, and I didn't know the name of the song. So when I found it again, I was like so happy. And from that time on, when I found it, it's been ministering to me to keep on, to keep on moving. Because the same way that Jacob fought for his battle, the same way he fought for his blessing, is the same way I have to fight. Fight through everything I'm going through. I just need to keep on. And I know that there's something that's going to be changed. There's something that's going to happen. Whether it's something physical or something that's within me that's going to change. Because the trials that we go through are not just for nothing. Israel went through the 40 years in the desert, but it was so that God could remove things, the old, and take out those things that were not good inside of them. So,
The song impacted you.
yeah, it ministered to me that way. Yeah.
Yeah. For me, right now, it's new wine. Everything is new wine for me from Hillsong. Yeah, new wine. I love it. It's just like,
Repeat all the time.
yeah, I love it. I really do. It's like I'm listening to it all the time, and it's just like make me whatever you want me to be, Jesus. It's like yes. And then I have to go to Starbucks and journal as well.
Starbucks. All right, so we have a coffee fiend. Let's talk about that real quick. So, you wake up in the morning, right? And you only have like a few cash on you and you want to get coffee. If you could name your top 5 in the order you would like to get your coffee, what company and what's the order?
Okay, so number 1, Starbucks. Second, Dunkin' Donuts. Third is like a cafe. There's a 9th Street. It's like 9th Street Espresso in Manhattan. And then the other 2 maybe like the Bean. And last one, the Deli. Yep.
You, Jonathan?
He doesn't drink coffee.
No.
He's a non-coffee drinker.
Okay, so Jonathan, since you're not a coffee drinker, what give you that, besides Jesus, of course, but what give you that, like, that buzz, like, early in the morning? Like, what would you, chocolate chip cookie, ooh. All right, like, what would be your buzz?
That's an interesting question. I'm still trying to figure that out. Besides Jesus, oh my gosh. What I used to do, and sometimes I still do it, is that I would put music. I'll put something uplifting, and I'll just like listen to it, and like even some videos like they're just for encouragement, even if they're not Christian. Things that just motivate me, or like let's say there's a movie scene that I've seen. I love to see it, and like the way that it impacted me, the same way it impacts me. It keeps on.
That's a really interesting point because like I too like watching like motivation movies. YouTube, SoundCloud, they have a lot of good motivation movies in audios that I like to listen to. One of my favorite speakers is Les Brown, and the way he talks about like in order for you to see change, you have to change your mind, and I'm 100% behind that, 100%. So you bringing up a different way that not a lot of people would ever consider is really, really interesting. It's like confirming to what he spoke about. So when you guys are out and about, let's talk about food for a quick second, right? You guys live in the city, you know what I'm saying? Good places to eat. And you guys decide to get pizza. Ooh, pizza. Ninja Turtle style. What would be like your number one pizza place to go to, okay? Or what would be your recommended pizza place for people to check out? Toughie. They might be watching, so who want to go first?
I don't know. I just like margarita slices. Like, yeah, those are like the ones I like. But I don't know like any specific place that does it the best. I usually like margarita slices from like anywhere. They're pretty good. But like
the best then.
margarita slices.
He is the best. No one else. What about you, Jonathan?
For me, there's this place in Upper Manhattan on 79th Street and Amsterdam Avenue. It's called Saba's Pizza. It's awesome. I love it. I ate every time I could there when I was working. Yeah.
Not bad, not bad. So there you go, guys. You got some nice recommended pizza place, Margarita and Salva Pizza. Now, we all have a good mutual friend. His name is Justin Roa. I love him. Hey, Justin. Let's put Justin on blast real quick, okay? Now, Justin to me is a very intellectual person, and he has his funny moment. So far, to me, is when we were kids, and he did some funny stunt that I can't stop laughing about it. Can we mention one funny moment of Justin? You know, what's the one time that you'd be like, oh, Justin? Don't worry, Justin. They got your back. Don't worry.
We're not putting you on blast, Justin.
Not putting you on blast.
No.
It could be recently if you could remember.
Well, something that made me laugh when one day he hugged me. He hugged me, and he never ever did this before. He hugged me. Oh man! And like usually I always say he's like a teddy bear because he feels soft and everything. And then
I'm not putting you on blast. Clearly.
but when I hugged him and he hugged me, he was like, "Ooh, you smell good." And I was like, "Wait." At first I was like, "Wait, what is he doing?" Oh man! But that made me laugh. I was like, "Wow."
Bromance moment. Oh, okay. So this, all the guys have bromance. So much bromance. You guys love each other so much. Like a lot of hugs all the time.
Got to.
All the time.
We need it.
All the time.
We don't have girlfriends, so where else are we going to get the romance?
It's more than the girls. Like the girls don't hug as much as the guys hug in ICM. It's so funny.
All right. So, with that being said, do you feel bromance is a necessity in a guy's life? Yes or no?
Yeah, I feel like it is. But it's just funny watching it. It's funny to see it. Like, it just feels sometimes like the guys are more affectionate than the girls. Like, it's just like I kind of need to be that affectionate with my sisters. Like, seriously, we need to pass that on. Like, guys teach us, and then we can do it too. But like, you guys are it's just like guys more than the girls. So yeah.
We gotta show that love. That's what it is. That's what it is. I remember one time I was hugging one of the youth. His name is Christian. Oh man. And we were just hugging there, and then I think, what was it? It was Christine, and she was just mentioning that was an extra special hug right there. We were just like really in there. Gotta hug like that. We gotta show the love.
Ain't no nothing wrong in showing, our, soft side too. We're vulnerable creatures as well. Now, I believe in women empowerment. A big thing with my program is we talk about anime, we talk about wrestling, we talk about but I've been seeing in these cultures a lot of women empowerment. How do you guys feel about the Bronx, or was it New York itself, having one of their first female representative or senator, I believe, to represent New York?
Um, well, okay, I agree with women empowerment. Like it's true. Women are there to help, and the Bible does say that God gave Eve so that he could have someone to be with him, but also to help out. She's a helper. So we can't put a woman down. No, 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 no. We can't do everything either. Like they gotta help too. We all are in this together. So I agree with women empowerment. As long as we don't treat each other like anyone's better or anyone's lesser. Exactly.
So, yeah, I think that it's like an awesome thing that's going on, and I just feel like women being empowered just allows us to be more on equal levels because I think Lisa Bevere talks a lot about like women empowerment, and she just like her platform is very like women centered, I believe. She had a lot of struggles like being like a preacher. She said that she would struggle with it a lot. I haven't experienced it ever, like me being put down because I'm a girl, but I feel like it's something that has happened more like past, and just having women like in authority and as leaders is just amazing.
And let's wrap this up talking about something. So it's midnight. You wake up, you got the munchies, because you've been praying all night. Munchies. What would be your go-to snack? I know I'm Dominican, and you are.
Puerto Rican.
Dominican.
So, come on, there's that one, that snack that you could always go to, whenever you're hungry. What would be that snack?
You do like snacks too.
He loves snacks.
So many to choose from at the moment. But honestly, dessert. It's a dessert. It's like brownies. I love brownies.
I love, and I'm dangerous with these. I love, love, love Oreos. Oh my gosh. Do not leave the pack alone ever in my house because that pack will disappear. Not even one cookie, not even a crumb.
And there you go, guys. Brownies and Oreo brownies. Send them their way. Now, if people want to reach out to you, or get a word, or learn your secret brownie ingredient or your favorite type of Oreo, where they could reach you out? What's your Instagram or Twitter account?
I have Instagram. It's just Stephanie Pina. My last name is Pina. And then 7. And that's it.
My Instagram account is jonasantiago92. So, yeah.
All right, guys, and their tag will be right in the description below. Again, Stephanie, Jonathan, thank you so much in taking time and doing this interview with me. A lot of courage, and I'll keep praying for you guys, and we'll be praying for you guys as well. All right, so this is the Jay Aguilar Show. One love, stay strong, peace.